Welcome to the channel Before You Say I Do. The description of this channel will be given by none other than the man who's never talking or on camera. By your request, sir. You asked me to remind you to tell our listeners about why you wear sunshades in the house. Now that my job is complete, I am going to retire. Good day, sir.
What you talking about, Willis?
Good evening, good people. First, I like to start this video off by explaining the sunshades, okay? Because, of course, people say he's on here trying to be cool or whatever, but I was shot in my face, and my eyes, it's already bad enough. People gonna find something to say, so I try to give them less to talk about because the eyes will flip around. Okay, now we got that out there. I'd like to start off by thanking everyone for your continued support in most of the things that I do. I'm getting ready to start a YouTube channel called Before You Say I Do. So that's going to be the perceived type, okay? So the page is about men and women, okay? And I'm 53 years old. I've been married, when I was younger, and I've been in some not so successful relationships that all were great in their own right because I learned something from them. So I've been a little troubled by the unbalanced scale of men and women these days, right? And we'll tend to get into more of that as the channel starts to progress. But so to give you a quick overview, so my intent is to uncover the man, okay, and to face the woman to the mirror so she can start to see herself, okay? And we'll dig more into that later. The channel is not built to beat on women. For sure not, because, without them, it would be us. And I think women in our culture is in the world is very important. The problem I have is, so are the men. And I know we don't have, we've all been hurt by a man in some form or fashion. We know. But at some point, ladies, at some point, you have to start taking responsibility for your choices, okay? If you've been hurt by a man like 4 or 5 times, and the number one breakup, excuse me, the number one breakup is he cheated on, okay? So if you talk to 90% of women, she's going to say cheated on, more than likely, or he lied. He had a wife. So it's true in a lot of cases. But if you have repeat stories like that, it could be the repeat choices you keep making. And it's not to say that men don't do anything, but a lot of times in most situations, whether it be business, social, relationships, marriages, we see the person in the first week of the relationship, right? But women, most of the time, have a tendency to see the things and think that she's gonna be, the person that'll change her. But more than likely, it's not gonna happen, right? So if you think about most of your relationships, a lot of them ended based on the thing that you saw in the first week or so of the relationship. So it's a sure sign that it's based on a lot of the decisions that we make. A lot of times we go to the same places, we meet the same types of people because these type of individuals hang in those places. So if you do the same thing, you're gonna get the same results. So, it's just irritating to hear the same story because a lot of men are good men, but they have one thing in common: no discipline. So they cheat. So then it's a thing where that's why I said facing the woman to the mirror, because then there is a thing where it's like, do you at some point take responsibility for some of it? Most women will throw a bottle at the screen right now and say, hell no. You know, how am I responsible for his irresponsibilities? Well, if you start to examine the situation closer, you may see that a lot of what he got from you was based on walls that you had built. And you know what they say about bars? They lock you in and they lock everyone else out. So examine what you have going on behind those walls, because a lot of times men want to be more of a emotional support. You know, some men, believe it or not, even want to be more romantic, but how can you get past the walls? You know, and they have been built by mistakes of others. And we know we have the guy who will continually just be who he is, but at the same time, he had to have showed, even if he didn't tell you, look, I'm a undisciplined, belligerent cheater. Even if he didn't say that, there were signs. There were signs. And if you look closely, you'll see it was a lot of things that you overlooked. So those are the things we want to be discussing. You know, feel free to comment. And all I say is support a brother. That's all. Subscribe to the channel and, you know, like, comment, share. That's all we asking. And again, the name of the channel is Before You Say I Do. We come to unmask the man, okay? Point the woman in the mirror. Thank y'all in advance. We're going to keep this thing rolling, man. We're going to keep it rolling. Appreciate y'all.